Iran's national security chief, Ali Larijani, has addressed the wave of protests spreading across Iran that many of the demonstrations represent legitimate demands from Iranian citizens frustrated by their economic conditions. However, he claimed that the situation was later hijacked by what he described as a destructive and organized element. According to Larijani, these groups turned peaceful protests into riots, engaging in extreme violence and criminal acts. He alleged that their methods included killings, arson, and attacks that he said mirrored the tactics of terror groups such as ISIS. Aditya Vadhavan is joining me with more details. Aditya, what more can you tell us?
Clearly said that, all these protests that are happening in Iran are due to several economic reasons, due to rising inflation, and completely, at this juncture, all thresholds of all thresholds of this inflation has crossed all levels in Iran, and particularly now, apart from inflation, also if you see, Vaishali, these protests are now centering, are against the tyrannical policies of the Iranian regime headed by Ayatollah Al Khamenei, and indeed, at this juncture, we are seeing a wave of attacks, a wave of violent, scenes that are, unfolding on the streets of Iran, particularly in and around the capital, Tehran, and many other provinces of Iran. So completely, it's a breakdown of the law and order situation in Iran, and definitely these protesters are being dealt with tear gas and many other weapons by the Iranian police and military, and it needs to be seen how things unfold in this scenario.
Stay on with me, Aditya. Now, Iran's state-run media claims that dozens of security personnel have been killed while trying to control the nationwide unrest. According to Iranian state television, at least 30 police and security force members were killed in Isfahan province, now alone. Meanwhile, the commander of Iran's law enforcement special units confirmed that 8 more personnel were killed on January 8 and 9 during operations to quell riots in multiple cities. The Iranian Red Crescent has also reported the death of one of its relief workers after an attack on a humanitarian aid building in Gorgan, the capital of Golestan province. The violence comes as thousands of Iranians continue to protest across the country, driven by skyrocketing inflation, job losses, and a collapsing economy under harsh international sanctions. Public anger has been fueled by rising food prices, fuel shortages, and the plunging value of Iran's currency. Back to you, Aditya, on this for more details.
Well, definitely, Vaishali, if you see, indeed, the Iranian state media has claimed that, dozens of security personnel, Iranian security personnel have been killed during these protests, and so there have been also, apart from policemen, also, several people have been killed and also injured, in the violence, in the shootouts that the police personnel have done on the protesters, and this is what it is further fueling the protests in Iran now, because everything has reached to an utmost topmost level, and there is no, from here it is a very, very complex situation as to how a dangerous scenario is developing over Iran. This is definitely a call for a regime change in Iran. Definitely, for years now, people have, specifically the Iranian women, have, absolutely, oppose the policies of Ayatollah Al Khamenei, and there have been some videos and photos of Iranian women going viral on social media, wherein they are smoking a cigarette and they are burning the posters of Ayatollah Al Khamenei are doing the rounds on the social media. So indeed, Vaishali, now particularly the Iranian women are at the forefront of all these protests in Iran. Vaishali.